Welcome back, fellas. Fantasy Fortune YouTube channel is going through the best picks in every round of fantasy football through round 10. Now, yes, we already did this with the collab kind of podcast style with NFL Convo / Bryce DeGroat. But I wanted to kind of do a shorter video with just my favorite few picks in each round, because in that one it was one of his favorite picks and one of my favorite picks. But it's been a couple of weeks. There's more guys I like more now. I want to keep yapping about them. My last video, I went through the same exact style and did my least favorite round picks. Picks in each round, if you want to check that out. But yeah, let's just hop into it. And with the first round, I'm just going to harp on two guys. I think I am pretty in on most of these guys. I think it's a very deep first round. But the two guys I cannot stop drafting, CeeDee Lamb. If Jamar Chase didn't have the best situation you can possibly ask for, CeeDee would be wide receiver 1 for me. It's hard to do that, but he is my wide receiver 2. This is Jamar Chase. It's a cheaper Jamar Chase. Like, he was wide receiver 1 the year before last year when Dak Prescott was an MVP candidate. And this year I could very, very much see that returning, a 1,700-yard season. I think the addition of George Pickens is very helpful to get some DBs off of him. They got to worry about Pickens. Dallas has a shit defense, a shit run game. Dak has been an MVP candidate before, but he doesn't even need to. They're going to be top 5 in pass attempts in the NFL. CeeDee was wide receiver 7 last year without Dak for half the year. I mean, it's an extremely safe pick with the wide receiver 1 overall ceiling. You sometimes can get him, as you're looking here, at about the 6th overall pick. I would take him 4th overall, behind the top 3 dudes there. The last one in this round is going to be Nico Collins. He's my wide receiver 3, and I straight up would draft him 7th overall behind those first 6. Actually, screw that. I would draft him over Jefferson. So I would draft him 6th overall. I'm okay with being wrong if I'm wrong, but I'm going to ride my guy. Nico was on pace for 2,000 yards before getting injured last year, and that's not like a 3-game sample size. It's like 5 or 6. I think people are skeptical that he's going to get injured or something because he had a hamstring injury last year. All right. I mean, I'm no doctor. I'm not from the future. I won't be trying to predict injuries unless they have a history of missing 5 to 7 games a year, like a Cooper Kupp. But Nico, oh my gosh, no Tank Dell, no Stephon Diggs. Offensive line and run game without Mixon may struggle. They're going to have to pass the shit out of the ball, I think. And Nico Collins has a 1,700-yard season in the realm of possibilities. Round 2. Now, it's tough to say McCaffrey here because he's typically in round 1, but this is the sleeper ADPs here for PPR. I will skip over him because he's really a round 1 pick. Obviously, we like Brian Thomas Jr. can be in first round as well. So I don't think I need to yap too long about them. But I will yap about Drake London and Devon Achane. Now, Achane I will pull off of a little bit. He's now dealing with a soft tissue, which I think was a hamstring kind of tweak in preseason. Sucks to see that. Hate to see it. But he's going to be out days and weeks, which translation, he's going to be out days for sure. Could lead to weeks, but they're expecting him to be good by week 1. So that's at least good news. You never want to draft a guy that's kind of already dealing with an injury, so I don't want to contradict myself. I had said that multiple times about other players, but I also feel stupid because I've been so in on him for months. He's been a my guy. I can't just pull off because he tweaked a hammy. I can't do it. I'm not going to look back and be like, why the hell did I fade him after being in on him for months when he ended up being good for week 1? But this guy was RB1 in points per game with Tua last year. Jonnu Smith is gone, so he's going to have a shit ton of receiving work that Jonnu had. He was literally the wide receiver 36 last year if you just take his wide receiver his receiving stats. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean, we know this is an RB1 overall ceiling. And then Drake London, he's being drafted at wide receiver 10. He was literally wide receiver 5 last year, like very quietly. He was top 5 in receiving and the wide receiver 5 overall. We saw the sample size with Penix last year. I think this offense is just strictly through Bijan and Drake London. I really wouldn't be surprised if there was not all this spreading around that Kirk Cousins did to Darnell Mooney and Pitts a little bit. And Ray McLeod. Yeah, I think this is he last year was top 5 in both target share and red zone targets. I think he's in for more touchdowns with Penix. Everything they've been doing in training camp together has been screaming easy top 5 wide receiver. Now, he is my wide receiver 8. It's hard to put him higher. There's elite-ass wide receivers, but in the second round, this is a clear best pick in the round, in my opinion. And then we'll go to round 3 here. Round 3 is a little gross. Said this in my last video. I think there's a lot of guys a little overvalued in this round, but the ones I typically like, Trey McBride in round 3 is beautiful. He goes out around the 2-3 term. He's my tight end 1 over Brock Bowers, who goes about a full round before. I mean, what? He goes 25. Bowers is going 16 this on Sleeper. I mean, listen, it's easy to be in on a guy that was 4th in receptions among every NFL player last year. Clear number 1 guy, target in his offense, and he was the tight end 2, and he's being drafted at tight end 2. He only scored 2 touchdowns. He was expected to score an awful lot more than that, and I'm expecting him to score, whether it's 3, whether it's 4, 5, 6. I know that he's going to have more touchdowns this year. He's got the best receiving role of any tight end in terms of target share and catches. How can you not be excited about that? Especially with this drop-off at tight end after these top 3 tight ends. I love locking in Trey McBride in the 3rd round when kind of half of these guys I'm fading, which I talked about 5 of these guys in my last video if you want to check that out, of why I don't like this round. And then my next guy I'll talk about, before I do, Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts I think are great picks here if you want to lock in an elite quarterback, since I don't like the rest of the round. Chase Brown is my RB8, going as about RB11 or 12 in most drafts. I think RB12 in Sleeper here. Listen, RB5 or RB3, I think, down the stretch, the second half of last season. Week 5, he got a full starting role. PPR monster in a top 5 offense that has a terrible defense, leading to him to have to be on the field a lot. He's a clear bell cow. Zach Moss was released. P. Ryan may take some pass blocking work, but this is Chase Brown's backfield. What is there not to like here? I'm not going to miss out on someone I don't have a single red flag for here. Round 4. I love George Kittle here. Simply because I don't like round 3. So sometimes I just reach and take George Kittle, lock in an elite tight end in round 3. Because there's more receivers and running backs later. There is tight ends too, but not of the same caliber. Kittle, I love locking in that elite wide receiver there. Kamara, I don't know why people just hate him. Oh, like I posted a bust-proof video that got like 200,000 views or something on my Instagram. Link down below. Everyone hated that take that I said Alvin Kamara was bust-proof, and I don't understand that at all. I could not possibly be more confident that he has zero chance of being a bust as long as he doesn't miss half the year or something. He has been top 10 in fantasy points per game every single year of his career. We've seen multiple, except for one where he was RB13 in points per game. Last year he was RB6 in points per game with a terrible offense, bottom 5 in scoring. Terrible quarterbacks. Derek Carr had to retire. Spencer Rattler played a lot. He was ass. Same bad quarterback, same bad offense. He rushed for a career high last year. I know he's getting older. I know the offense is murky, and he's got to hit a wall at some point. Maybe he will, but the price here is baked into that. RB18 ADP is absolutely nuts to me. If he does fall off, then he should finish around this ADP. Because this is like, everyone's expecting him to fall off. I don't see how he finishes lower than this. And if he's the same guy, he's a top 10 running back. I have him at RB12 or 13, I think. I love it. I like Hampton. I like Walker. So does everyone else. So we will move on to the next round. Round 5. All right. I don't understand why people hate Courtland Sutton here. I've seen a lot of negative Courtland Sutton. Easy fade. He's 30 years old. He's never been a top 15 receiver besides last year where he was, what was he? He was either wide receiver, he was a top 12 wide receiver last year. Now, I understand they added Evan Ingram and some better running backs to maybe make it a little more crowded, but he's still the clear number one wide receiver. Bo Nix took a huge leap in the second half of the year. I fully expect him to be a very capable quarterback. Sutton's going to continue to be. Sutton didn't even hit his expected touchdowns last year. He was like top 12 in touchdowns or something, and still was expected to score more. This offense is going to be good. This is borderline top 10 offense, I think. Better running backs, quarterback, in Bo Nix, who I think is a good quarterback. He can pass the ball. He can run the ball. Cortland Sutton, to me, is a clear wide receiver one going in the mid-20s, I think. Wide receiver like 27, 25, something like that. I think he should easily be locked into the top 20. We saw a top 12 finish last year. Maybe he doesn't quite replicate that, but he's an extremely safe pick. He's got the top 12 upside that we saw last year. I don't know why people are skeptical on that. I like Devontae Smith. Let's see. But George Pickens and Jameson Williams in this round. Oh, God, I love those guys. George Pickens, I think, is discount T. Higgins. I talked about CeeDee Lamb being discount Jamar Chase by a couple of picks. I think the Cowboys are literally the Bengals from last year. If they can stay healthy, Dak stays healthy, Lamb could be Jamar Chase, and I genuinely think George Pickens can be T. Higgins, as in top 15 in wide receiver points per game. I love it. Top 5 in passing attempts, no doubt, this season. Bad defense, you're going to have to be on the field. Best QB situation he's had, and he doesn't have to be a wide receiver one. The reason I was skeptical of him last year is because I'm like, this is a really, really good wide receiver too. But to be a wide receiver one with not much else around you, I don't know if he can do that. But can he be a wide receiver two to CeeDee Lamb, who they're got to worry about? Absolutely. I think he's going to be phenomenal. Jameson Williams, he was top 20, I think, top 22 or something like that last year as a finish. I realize it's a crowded offense. There's no Ben Johnson this year. Maybe some question marks there, but he's getting hyped up for another breakout year. He went over 1,000 yards last year with less than 100 targets. There was only like 2 or 3 other players that did that last year. Elite in yards per catch. I don't know. I think he could get closer to Amon-Ra's production this year. And even if not, this is just a safe ADP, I think, with a high ceiling. Round 6. Ooh, there's some good picks here. God damn. All right, tetmcmillan, one of my guys. Posted a bunch of my guy videos this week. About a 3 to 4 minute explanation at each position of targets and each position of voids. McMillan was in there, man. This is a guy drafted in the top 10 to a team that doesn't have a wide receiver one. He's a clear wide receiver one already. He could easily get Malik Neighbors type of target share. This team was top 10 in passing attempts in the red zone last year. He's going to have a hell of a lot of touchdowns. He's closer to wide receiver 20 on Underdog. He's closer to wide receiver 30 here on Sleeper. Buying that dip every single time I can. I'd probably reach a little bit on him. Travion Henderson, I don't even know how or if this is still his ADP. I think this is round 6. I've seen him going around 4 and 5, so I genuinely don't think this ADP here, just because he's been rising at a training camp in preseason, he's climbing the draft boards day after day. So I don't know if you can really get him in this round, but he's obviously, I think he's a top 18 option at the running back position, PPR monster. I don't really think I got to say too much on that one. Next round. All right, Calvin Ridley here. I reach on him. A lot of receivers ranked here above him. Jerry Jeudy, Chris Olave, dare I say a Jalen Waddle. Those guys should not be going ahead of Calvin Ridley. I would put him in that tier with Pickens, J-Mo, and tetmcmillan. 3,000-yard seasons in a row when playing fully, outside of his gambling season where he got suspended. 3 different offenses, 3 different quarterbacks. He's going to put up 1,000 yards, and I think Cam Ward, this connection, they're going to be high in pass attempts because they suck. They're going to have to be. Ridley's really the only guy there, man. Chigakonkwo, who the hell is their wide receiver too? Elick? He's going to have one of the best target shares in the NFL. We saw a sneak peek in the preseason. 3 catches for 50 yards, and they yanked his ass out. Said, save the rest for week 1, buddy. This was a phenomenal pick to me. And then I like Tony Pollard in this round. I think this is kind of, you're getting close to the end here of, sorry, I lost where I was at. You're getting next to the end of good running backs. Like, there's a couple of guys after here that I enjoy. And once you get to like RB33, I think Travis Etienne is kind of the cutoff of upside. You're getting into handcuffs, guys that just don't have a role, guys that like fucking Najee Harris. That is, why on earth would you waste a pick on Najee Harris? No upside whatsoever. With the Tajay Spears injury, Tony Pollard was top 25 last year, going just outside the top 25. I think he could be in for a bigger workload. Maybe the offense improves, which would be very, very helpful for him. I think he's just a very good option to lock in as your RB3 here. And then, I got to talk about Jakobi Meyers. But I talk about him in every video, so I'll be brief. But this dude, man, I don't know what we keep ranking him outside the top 40 receivers for. It's kind of stupid as fuck, in my opinion. Last year and the year before, outside the top 40. Finished in the top 24. Last year was, I think, wide receiver 19 in points per game. What changed? Let's see. Picked up Chip Kelly at offensive coordinator, who will have the fastest pace in the NFL. 4 out of 4 seasons as a play caller in the NFL. Fast pace. Added Genti to improve the run game. Drafted a couple of rookies in Deontay Thornton and Jack Betch, who may not even start. Wild cards, I guess. Brock Bowers and Jakobi Meyers are the guys to throw the ball to here. Clear wide receiver 1, Jakobi Meyers. I'd be surprised if this wasn't another top 25 finish. I mean, seriously. He may not be a league winner. He may not have the top 12 upside of a guy. A couple other guys here maybe could. Safest pick you can make on the board and is a lock to finish above ADP. Next round. I love Tyrone Tracy here. And similarly to Tony Pollard, Tracy, and I said I'll mention Etienne, who's also in this round. Absolute cutoff after that. There's nothing besides handcuffs. Like Charbonnet, Trey Benson, Ray Davis. Maybe J.K. Dobbins I like as well. But yeah, Tyrone Tracy here. With the Scadaboo injuries, dealing with an injury right now. Tracy, PPR monster last year. I think I have him closer to like RB25 as opposed to like this RB32 ADP that he's got here on Sleeper. I mean, this is one of those situations where there's a committee, right? There's an Aaron Jones, a Jordan Mason. Last year, there's a Chase Brown, a Zach Moss. Like, there's the Jaguars running backs this year. Like, some decent odds that someone, like one of those running backs, is just going to shut the other one up and be like, why are we all drafting both of us next to each other? I think that could easily be Tyrone Tracy here. Could easily be the top 24 back, PPR monster. Maybe the offense improves a little bit. Their defense is phenomenal, I think. But yeah, I mean, he gets this workload. He's got the receiving upside. He stays healthy and keeps this role. We're going to be like, why the hell are we drafting him this low? David Njoku and Tyler Warren, some of my favorite tight ends to draft here. I mentioned a lot in my last video. After those top 3 tight ends, I don't like taking Kelsey up there. Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, feels unnecessary to waste a pick that early when I genuinely think David Njoku and Tyler Warren will have the same, if not better, production here. I have Njoku at tight end 5. Why? He's been tight end 5 in points per game each of the past 2 seasons. Oh, but he's got such shitty QB play and such a shitty offense. So did he the last 2 years, man. He's going to be an elite target earner. Averaged almost 10 targets a game without Amari Cooper last year when he was healthy. Holy shit. I don't give a shit about the bad QB, bad offense argument. Number 1, because, right, he's had it the last 2 years, so who gives a fuck? Number 2, bad offense, bad team, cool. What are they going to have to do? Pass the ball all game long. If they're always going to be behind, hell yeah. Give me those targets. Give me those touchdowns. This guy is an elite targeter. Tyler Warren could easily be the Brock Bowers. See my Colts stuff. I'm a Colts fan. I kind of tempered expectations for him, to be honest. Just because, questionable QBs, questionable offense. We don't know what the hell is going to go on in Indy. But I'll tell you one thing. He is going to be the guy on this offense. And we've seen sneak peeks in preseason of him getting target after target. I think he's just going to be such an easy safety blanket. One of the most talented tight ends, top 15 pick. I love the Tyler Warren. I reach on him. I to the point where I'm reaching on him. And Njoku or Warren here as my tight end one, if I don't get a top 3 guy, is phenomenal. And lastly in this round is going to be Matthew Golden. And then we'll do one more round, maybe 2 more. I don't know what round we're on. Anyway, Matthew Golden, I don't know what this ADP is about, to be honest with you. This is a first-round draft pick at the wide receiver position. Landed at a good offense, debatably top 10, with a borderline top 10 quarterback, that the passing volume will be there. There is a lack of wide receiver ones here, meaning it's up for grabs. He could easily be the wide receiver one in the rumblings from training camp and preseason, and that he is already the wide receiver one, right? So I'm not really sure what the wide receiver, 45 or so ADP is about. This is screaming Brian Thomas, screaming Ladd McConkey, screaming JSN from last year. 2 rookies, and then I call JSN a technical rookie because there's no way he was going to do anything with Luke Getsy. Is it freaking Getsy? I mix up Luke Getsy every time. No, it's not Luke Getsy. Freaking, what's his damn name? I don't know. Forget his name. Shane Waldron. Mix those guys up. I don't even know. Anyway, wide receiver 40s with the high upside, it's Matthew Golden all day. Next round. Actually, before, real quick, this is one of my favorite rounds. But we got a shout out chalkboard and Underdog. You can put whatever you want into these apps and get up to $1,000 free on Underdog only when you join with the code Fortune, and a free pick for week 1, like a Joe Burrow to get 1 yard. I don't know why you wouldn't want to take advantage of that, but chalkboard especially. Again, I shouldn't be telling you this because I only get credited if you guys deposit money with the code Fortune in chalkboard, but you don't even have to, man. You sign up. You do have to sign up with code Fortune. And then all of a sudden, you just see $20 in your account. They're running this NFL promo. They give you $20 for free by joining with the code Fortune. Now you can put money in, and it'll be doubled up to $100. So I would, and help me out. But you don't even have to, man. And they have promo packs too, where you can spin a wheel like once a day or once a week or something to get profit boosts and free picks and stuff. It's phenomenal. All right, let's go to the next round. Ricky frickin' Pearsall and Emeka Egbuka have no business being in this round. I will straight up reach at least a round and a half. I don't even give a shit. These guys are going to absolutely smack the hell out of this ADP. Mid-wide receiver 40 range. We'll start with Ricky Pearsall, who's, I think, my favorite pick in all of fantasy football. I've done 4 drafts for 4 leagues. I have him in 3 leagues. Happily reached on him in 2 of those 3. Got lucky on the 3rd one that he fell into my lap. But holy shit, man. Ayuk's on the PUP list. Won't be back for a while. Even when he comes back, probably going to be off to a slow start. Juwan Jennings, contract holdout, calf injury like Christian McCaffrey last year. There's no Deebo Samuel in town. This is the clear wide receiver 1. A first-round draft capital that broke out in the last 2 games of last season. He's now fully healthy from being shot and dealing with other injuries last year. Very injury-riddled, but now the dude's walking into a wide receiver 1 role in an offense that's projected to be top 5 in scoring. Phenomenal preseason week 2 game yesterday. I'm recording this on Sunday. Damn, I don't get it. Reach for him. I promise you. Clearest breakout I've ever seen. And Emeka Egbuka, similar, right? Not quite the same beautiful wide receiver 1 situation, but Evans, Mr. Consistent, Mr. 1,000 yards. He is getting older. He does deal with a couple of hamstring injuries here and there. May miss a couple games. Chris Godwin I don't know if he's on the PUP list, but he's not going to be ready for a while. Not by week 1, and even when he is back, I expect him to be limited. Not quite the same efficiency. Baker Mayfield set career highs. I mean, this is a top 10 passing attack with plenty of opportunities. Emeka Egbuka, nobody will shut up about how good he is, and I fully agree. Even when he got drafted here, I was like, damn, that's probably not ideal. But this is a situation where you bet on the freaking talent, man. You bet on the talent. Brian Thomas Jr. last year. Ladd McConkey last year. JSN last year. Even Neighbors was going at wide receiver 25 because the offense, I don't know, the QB play, I don't know. He was top 6. This is Emeka Egbuka, top 24 receiver. I'm calling it. I don't think this ADP makes any sense. And then, let's see. I'll shout out a couple of guys at the end here. I like Jordan Mason. I think he could maybe take that RB1 role. He will be the goal line back. Aaron Jones is 30-plus years old, missed 6 games last year, had negative 2 yards on 13 attempts inside the 5 last year. I think Jordan Mason was way more efficient if you look at all the efficiency stats. I like Jordan Mason here. Brock Purdy, QB10. Or outside QB10, I think. Yeah, he's like QB12 or 13. For what? He was QB10 last year when Debo sucked and got injured. Ayuk got injured. Christian McCaffrey got injured. Bro was rocking with Kittle and Juwan Jennings in a down year and still finished as QB10. QB6 the year before and an MVP candidate up until he kind of crashed out at the end of the season. He's a lock to be top 10, man. He's sneaky rushing upside as well. I don't know why we're drafting him so low. And, yeah, I could talk about more guys, but I think 25 minutes is good. Let me know if you want me to talk about more guys in another video. Past pick 100 or so, I could make a separate video like that. But leave your thoughts in the comments, what you guys want to see. Leave a subscribe. And the double tap, please. Helps me out a lot. Makes me know what you guys like and what I need to put out. But thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.